We just finished talking about dialogue, so now you're going to get to watch me put some dialogue into one of my stories, and then you're going to put dialogue into some of your stories. Okay, oh boy, do you remember this story? Bike riding? I love to bike ride with my family. During the quarantine, one night, Vivi and I were biking. I was trying to show off and do a trick by jumping off the curb. Well, it didn't work, and I completely busted. My bike was all bent and I hurt my legs and my elbow. Was so twisted that I couldn't ride it. Vivi had to call Mr. Peters to come get us. First of all, rereading that, I already found a mistake. Remember, we talked about rereading because that's when we find mistakes. But let's talk about dialogue first. We remember dialogue are the words that people say. So in each piece of writing that you have, 4 to 5 pieces, I want you to try to see if you can put in 2 pieces of dialogue in each piece of writing, okay? So I can see right now where I can add dialogue, and dialogue really brings your writing to life, so you really want to get good at it. But you don't want your stories to just be all speaking either. So that's why I'm saying just 2, okay? I love to bike ride with my family. During the quarantine one night, Vivi and I were biking. I was trying to show off to do a trick by jumping off the curb. If I was trying to show off, if you're trying to show off, don't you usually say, hey, watch this, or look at me? I'm sure you all do when you go swimming and you do jumps in the pool and, Mom, watch me. So if I'm trying to show off for Vivi, I'm gonna say, hey, Vivi, watch me. So this is one of the reasons why we skip lines. One night Vivi was biking. I was trying to show off and do a trick by jumping off the curb. This is where I'm gonna put in my dialogue. So I'm gonna do a little carrot up. It's called a carrot. And that shows this is where I want to insert this piece of dialogue. So I wanna say, Vivi, watch this, I yelled. Okay, so quotation marks. Vivi, watch this. Ending quotation marks after the dialogue. And then I said, I yelled. And then I need another period, okay? So I got my little carrot to go up, and that's gonna show that's where I want to insert this. Vivi, watch this, I yelled. Okay. Well, it didn't work and I completely busted. My bike was all bent and I hurt my legs and elbow. So what did I do? Vivi had to call Mr. Peters. So I could say, I told Vivi, or I said to Vivi, you need to call Mr. Peters. My bike was all bent. I was so twisted that I couldn't ride it. So right here, I'm gonna say, I cried to Vivi, comma, call Dave, because that's his first name. Okay? So, sorry about that. I have my carrot. I cried to Vivi, comma, capital letter, call Dave. That's what I said, or that's what I cried. Call Dave, call Mr. Dave. Okay, so now your job is to go back into your writing, and each piece of your writing, you should have, like I said, 4 to 5 pieces of writing, and add some dialogue into your writing. Bring your writing to life, because at the end, with all of these pieces, your writing, your stories are gonna be so exciting, so full of life, okay? So the directions are on Schoology. Each piece of writing, 4 to 5 pieces of writing you should have, try to add 2 pieces of dialogue. If you can only find one good spot, that's okay, but really try for 2, okay? Happy writing.